Good morning. It's February 20th, and I have been reading for the past couple of days that there are things going on in the Middle East around Israel that are not good, because Egypt is preparing for a military confrontation with Israel, and they've been preparing for a while. They've had their paratroopers out there training. They've had other resources accumulating on the borders. All types of military features are showing up. So when I read that Israel is about to be attacked by Egypt, that shocks me, because I thought that Egypt and Israel had a decent relationship in the past couple of years. So why would Egypt all of a sudden decide that it was time to attack Israel? And Egypt is not in any economic shape to take on a war. It is facing substantial economic hardships. But they have gone ahead and spent an awful lot of their budget on the military. And the Israel Defense Establishment identified that the military activity in Central Sinai, including some logistical preparation and the construction of cement obstacles that aim at blocking Israelis' armored vehicles. So Israel is not asleep. They have never been asleep, because they are constantly alert to the fact that their enemies could rise up at any time from anywhere. Now, political officials in Jerusalem are voicing concern over Egypt's unprecedented military buildup, including the construction of tunnels and bridges over the Suez Canal. So these developments, they warn, could facilitate a rapid deployment of Egyptian forces into the Sinai Peninsula and potentially cross the border into Israel. So Israel is not asleep. They can never afford to be asleep at the switch. But this is a big surprise, I am sure, to find out that Egypt is mounting this possible venture. Now, we know that Egypt is in violation of the Camp David Accord, because they have deep tunnels connecting to the Gaza Strip and points deep into the Sinai Peninsula. And there have been heated debates between Israel and Egyptian security officials about the existence of those tunnels. But that hasn't stopped Egypt from constructing them and keeping them in good shape, in spite of the fact that Israel and Egypt share strategic defense interests. There are numerous reasons to avoid any kind of military confrontation. Tensions between Egypt and Israel could potentially escalate into a real conflict, and that could be caused by a slim miscalculation or an accident or something unforeseen. So military officials from Israel stress that the IDF must maintain a watch over the possibility of a clash with Egypt, even though supposedly neither one of these two countries wants that to happen. Israel's former ambassador to Cairo warned in a December 23rd interview that Israel must address the capabilities Egypt is building. And we learned on October 7th not to rely on the interpretation of its intentions and interests, which can change in a moment. Egypt is investing huge sums in military buildup despite the fact that no country is threatening it. And it's in a difficult economic situation, so why are they pissing money away arming themselves? Egypt is investing heavily in military and civilian infrastructure east of the canal in Sinai. And things can change in a moment because we know what happened with Egypt in 2012 and the rise of the Muslim Brotherhood. So I think that Israel has to continue to be on its toes, so to speak. The Egyptian president announced that Egyptian military officers and their leaders wrote the most heroic tales of sacrifice and selflessness to reclaim the Holy Land of Sinai. So it's important to understand the official Egyptian position refuses to recognize the historical rights of the Jews in the land of Israel and their right to establish a national home there. Egypt absolutely rejects the perception of Zionism as a legitimate national liberation movement. Zionism, in the eyes of the Egyptians, was and remains a colonialist movement that occupies the lands of the Palestinians and deprives them of their rights. And the Palestinians never existed until recently. Israel is a political entity born in sin, and that's a position that the Egyptians have taken. So it is no surprise, it should not be a surprise to us that we find Egypt gathering up armaments in a possible attempt to annihilate Israel. So we will have to wait and see on this situation. And I'll leave you with that this morning. Something evil to think about. Have a great day. Bye.